put the dual snorkel air cleaner on there, they took it off because they wanted to show you the beautiful shiny carburetor. Hey, good afternoon guys. The sun's setting and we are in a place called Odessa, Florida, and we're going to see a really nice car. You might recognize another car that was here at the house we're going to. We featured it a couple weeks ago. It's been featured in magazines. This car also has been featured in magazines, so stay tuned and you'll get to see a really sweet classic. And so stay tuned, and here we go. So welcome to another episode of Junkyards and Barn Finds with Sean, and I'm Sean. Hey guys, so thanks for watching, and you may have recognized the owner here. Like I said, you're one of their cars you've seen, and you may have recognized the last time we saw her was about a month ago, and she was wearing a wedding dress, and she was sitting in a black car with a guy with a cowboy hat. Well, no wedding dress, wedding's off. So, but she has her own car. It's got Iowa plates on it, and it's really nice. So I'm Sean.
Hi Sean, I'm Michelle.
And this is Michelle.
Nice to meet you.
And so last time we saw you, you were in a wedding dress because it was a Halloween costume thing and all. So this is your other car, and I think you guys told us a little bit about that you had it.
Yep.
It's a 50.
It's actually a 1961 Chevy Bel Air.
Okay. And this is not her husband's car.
No.
This is her car. So she knows everything about this car. This isn't like, hey, my husband bought me a car at Mecum Auctions. No. This car has a lot of family ties to you, right?
It does.
So right now, first of all, it's bones. It's stock, right?
No, it is not.
So
stock.
it's not, because it looks like a stock car.
So from the outside it does, but on the inside it's not.
All right.
On the inside it has a 454 big block with a manual 6-speed transmission.
And when was that change? Did you guys do the change? Well, who first off? Somebody, it's in your family, right? Your grand?
Right. No, it was my
dad?
father.
Your father, okay.
Larry Kapaska.
And he built it.
Yes, he built it from the frame up.
And when was the build? Approximately.
So I think that he started this car. He dug the frame out of our field up in Iowa.
Because you lived on a farm.
Yeah.
Oh, as your grandfather invented something, right?
My grandfather invented the round hay baler.
So all you guys that see giant hay bales, that's thanks to her. But you really can't get rich off that, because each farmer buys one, and they last 100 years. Because your grandfather invented something that works, like old school that you work, so you don't have to replace it. If you bought it now, he'd make it out of plastic, so you had to buy a new one every 5 years.
No, it works.
Okay.
You're right. So I'll actually start the story back in 1961 when my dad met my mom and they got married. My dad drove a 1961 Chevy Impala, baby blue, with a convertible. Well, when he got married to Mom, he sold it and he regretted it. So then after that, he went on this mad hunt to collect as many Impalas as he could find. And somehow in the mix, he ended up with a Bel Air frame, but we don't know why. So he put it down in the field and it sat down there for 23 years. Well, Dad over the years would rebuild Impalas because he was a motorhead.
Right.
And so then in about 2004, he dug it out because in Iowa, there's nothing to do in the winter. So what did he do? He would work on cars. So he dug the frame out and he went all across the United States looking for body parts, everything. The tires are here from here in Odessa, Goodyear down the street. I know that he dipped the chrome over in Orlando. A lot of the trim pieces are from Arkansas. My sister lives in Arkansas, so he would visit. So he gathered up all these pieces and then he started putting it together.
Wow.
And he finished the car in May of '07, and then he died in July of '07.
Oh, geez.
So
it is a tribute to him.
Right.
Now, did he paint it and do the interior and everything?
The only thing he didn't do was paint it.
Okay.
Everything else he did.
Wow.
There was a guy downtown, Randy McCann in Guthrie Center, Iowa, that did the painting for him.
So Randy, your car is still
Right.
looking beautiful.
It's still here.
So let's take a little look. So so some of the stuff with this is it's got bumperettes on it.
Yep.
Now what is this? I noticed
This
that.
is to lift the hood.
Okay, so is that something that is stock on one of these cars?
Yeah, I don't know that.
Or you don't know?
I don't
it
know
could have
that.
been an invention. It could
It
maybe.
could have been.
So if you guys know, let us know. Is that something
Right.
that's stock? Now, is this did they make a super sport version of this? Because it's
No,
it's
I believe, from what I think I know, is that Bel Air came with a 409 in it.
Okay.
That's what I think I know.
Right.
They could tell you wrong.
Right.
I could be wrong.
Yes.
So I don't know. But this is a 454 big block. that you
Okay.
put in it.
And if you were here with smell-o-vision, you would smell a lot of gas, because even though it's like the luck of channels,
Right.
when anybody comes, this car probably has run perfect
Oh, it does.
forever and ever and
does.
ever and ever. And then they call me up, they're like, hey, we're moving the location of the car. If you want to come see it, come over. So at 6 o'clock on Halloween, where if we see if you see kids showing up dressed weird, it's not some kind of cult. It's Halloween
Right.
night at 6 o'clock. Suddenly the fuel pump took a dump.
Yeah, it did. So I bought
So-
a new one today, so it's going in later.
But anyway, I mean, so he built the engine. It got aluminum heads on it.
Yep.
Do you know where the 454 came from? Is a truck? Is it now
So
it's
my
5
dad
LS4?
was into truck engines. He had a 327 Corvette. He had a Buick Grand National. He had all these engines. So I know, I've got the serial number off of this one,
Okay.
and it came off of a 1972 Chevy.
Okay.
pickup.
So it
back in the
could
day.
be, you don't know.
Nope.
It could be a 72 Chevelle. It could have been a 72 Corvette. Could have been a 72 truck.
Yep. Don't know.
But it's got headers on it. The interior, the whole inside, obviously, when he did frame off, I mean,
It's
so he didn't do frame off. He started with a frame and
Yep,
just
started
kept
with a frame.
adding stuff.
I have pictures of him. I was in a magazine recently called Tampa Bay Motoring Tampa Bay, and there's a
Okay.
picture in there.
And we're
of my
gonna,
dad.
they're gonna send me that, so we're gonna pop it on here
Yeah.
if we get it. And the one thing I noticed he didn't do, now does
Yeah.
it have disc brakes? Because he doesn't have power brakes.
No, they're not disc.
But I guess since what, Kansas, is it Kansas or Iowa?
Iowa.
Since
Yeah.
Iowa's pretty flat,
Right.
you don't need brakes because you
Right.
just go as fast as you want. And if you
Right.
need to slow down, you got plenty of time to slow down.
And the other thing, he didn't put any air conditioning in there or heater.
Okay.
So that's not in there.
So there's no air, there's no heater. You got whatever temperature it is outside, it is inside the car.
Well, there's little fan buttons I can push and open the fans up, but that's
So-
about it.
But and you've driven this a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not. This isn't something that sits in a barn and
No.
just hides away. You drive it all the time.
I
so.
feel like it's my job, that I inherited the car, that it's my job to take it to as many car shows as I can. So that's what I do.
And parts, I wonder how. I mean, because he searched. You said he was searching for parts. I don't know if year one or any of the parts companies make parts for this car, because it's not. It's
Well-
somewhat rare. You don't see a lot of them.
I know there's a guy out in Arkansas that has parts. I know that that's where Dad went and got them. I also have a book that has the 1961 Bel Air. It's a parts book. I don't know.
Okay,
if
so
you can get
maybe
'em.
you can order,
Yeah.
because I'm just looking at bumperettes here.
Yep.
These probably are the same as, Chevy back in the day would try to use some parts off the shelves from
Yep.
other years. So it even looks like a 63 grill. It's probably not, but somebody who has some machining skills could probably do this.
Yep.
But I mean, this is like the kind of stuff, the details on this car. Like, look at this. This is actually just a piece of chrome that goes across. It's hollow. Today, number one, it would be plastic, and number two, it would just be filled in behind.
All right.
So then it's beautiful. It's red. It has drum brakes or what's drum all the way around.
Yep.
So he
So
didn't
it's a
update
slow
that.
stop.
So it's a slow to no stop.
It's a slow to no stop.
Nice bench seats inside.
Yep. He did all the work inside.
And it has the original stereo in it.
Yes, and it works.
Oh wow.
Yep.
So original stereo. It's got other than the tack that's been added, all the gauges are just factory the way
Yep,
it is.
everything, even as I remember it, because I used to
Right.
drive a 1961 Impala for school back when I was a kid, and it looks just like it.
And was it original a stick shift car? Do you know? Have you ever looked up the
No, I don't
VINs to
think
figure it
so.
out?
I don't think
Okay,
it was.
but the steering column doesn't show anything. So, but I mean, he was getting parts from all over,
Yep.
so that steering column could be from one car, the dashboard from another.
But he
But it
could
all
piece
came
anything
together.
and make it work. And actually, when I inherited the car, my mom told me, she goes, Dad wasn't quite finished with the car.
Okay.
So there's something wrong with it. He either peeled out too fast or it died.
Oh.
And I said, well, Mom, let's go for a ride. So I took her for a ride and it worked out fine.
Oh, okay. And does it have a posi rear end? Do you know where the gearing's
I
right
don't
there?
know that.
Okay. So, but this is one of those like classic rear ends where you got the nice bullet lights that came in back in the 60s when the space race was starting and everything was going to be a jet flame. So that's why they look like this, because that's when the space race was happening, and jets like the F-86 Sabre and all were just replacing prop planes. So a lot of the design of the cars in the early 60s, late 50s were to incorporate the jet age that was coming in. So that was that. And just check out the emblem here. That is really cool. If you look at this, I'll be honest with you, I've owned a couple Corvettes. I bet you look at the 77 Corvette, that looks dang close to what the 77 Corvette emblem was.
Well, funny thing was, my grandfather had a 63 split window and my dad owned a 65 Corvette.
Okay.
So he was a Corvette guy too.
So I don't, is that, I guess, but that looks like it's the one that came with the car.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Is that the one that came in the car? If not, that's some skill. I'm assuming that this part did, but yeah, who knows? Pretty cool. And then everything inside, obviously the trunk, the floor plan, everything was replaced, and it's all, there's no rust underneath the car or anything as well, right?
No.
So
I've been keeping it in good shape.
and this car has won, like you said, it's been in a magazine. Have you taken it to shows? Has it won awards or anything?
I've won like 3 different awards that I've taken it to here locally in Florida.
Okay. And it's going to stay in Florida. They're moving to a different part of Florida, but it'll stay in Florida. So any of you guys up in the Tallahassee FSU, my old stomping grounds as a FSU alumni, you may see this running around up there.
Yep.
So pretty cool though. It's a beautiful car. Can I open the door?
Yes.
So, and you can just see, I mean, look at this right here. This stuff is all, I don't know if you guys, any of you guys, I'm sure there's got to be somebody that knows, were these stripes like part of the original design? Is this just his own, putting in his own artistic, you know, way into putting a 3-color design on there, because it runs throughout? And it's actually stitched. I don't know if it's stitched in, but it's within a rolled or stitched area. Actually, it looks, it's not, that's not dyed. That's actually pieces of vinyl. Yeah, that's different color vinyl. So this is a vinyl, either an inlay or something. I'm not even sure, but that is cool. Yeah. And it's got the rugs from the 1960s in there. So
an old cigarette lighter.
Yeah, and ashtray. Got ashtrays in the back.
Yep.
So yes, people were allowed to smoke. For those who are millennials, you could actually smoke in a vehicle back in the day. And for those of you now, I mean, you don't even see any of the roll-up windows anymore. And check that out. Really cool. Wow. It is just, I mean, this is like it looks like a new car. Mm-hmm. I mean, this would be, if you're making a, well, I worked in the movie industry for a while. You don't want to loan this to a movie company because they always say, yeah, we'll take care of it. And then next thing you know, you see some guy jumping on the hood with a guitar and denting the roof. But it's too bad if you were making a period. And actually, for those who, I went to FSU's film school. So maybe FSU's film school, maybe if you need a car in the background, you might want to be able to contact her. They may let you use that if you're doing a period student film where you're not coming within 150 feet of the car.
Yeah, my dad had another Impala that was a convertible, and it got used in the high schools for homecomings.
Right. Yep. So beautiful car though, and all they need to do is, since you're going to Tallahassee, is they need to change all the chrome on it to gold, and then it'll be garnered in gold. Then it'll be the FSU car. But wow, it's really, really beautiful, and I'm glad we got a chance to come out here. Like they said, this is getting packed up and shipped out in a couple days. But what a piece of work here. I mean, do you know where any of the other cars that your dad had are? Or?
No, throughout time then he would sell them off.
So he would just build them in the winters and then play with them for a bit, and then when he got tired of them, he would sell it and then build another one.
Yep, that's what he did. He built a black 61 Impala 2-door hardtop with red interior.
Right.
and that was the other one, and then the baby blue one.
Now is this a coupe or a hardtop, because it doesn't have a post? The windows go down in the back though.
I've actually heard both, but I don't know for sure.
Because I think, well, I know with Mopars, and you guys are gonna kill me if I get this backwards, that like if they have the windows that pop out, it's a hard top.
Oh.
And if they have the windows that roll down, it's a coupe. Because,
I don't know.
But if I'm wrong, it's because I saw somebody yesterday who put a Super B up, and that's what they said on their YouTube channel.
Right.
So go find that one and argue with them, because that's what they told me. But anyway, wow. But the sun's going down. This thing is beautiful.
Yep.
If you can't see the paint in this, this is like fire engine red. I mean, this is like the fire chief's car. This thing is red as you can get. So it's really beautiful. And let's take a quick look underneath a little bit. So you can see everything under there is painted as well. So this is just a beautiful car to have. I mean, and
Fun. I get a lot of looks.
so which is faster, this or when you guys next to each other, this or the Trans Am? Because they have the, if you've seen this, you haven't seen the Smokey and the Band Trans Am, maybe we'll take a 5-second just look so that you guys can put together the two cars we're talking about. But this is yours.
Yes.
And your husband's is the Trans Am.
Correct.
Which has a much, well, no, you have a bigger engine than
Right.
his.
But to shift that, it takes a lot more time, and by that time he's already gone.
Oh, okay.
But I can get him on the long haul.
So this is faster overall.
Right.
This thing looks like one of those NASCAR. I mean, you put a side number on this thing, and you're putting it on the track in NASCAR in the 1960s. You
Yeah,
know?
you're right.
So
Out on the beach.
yeah. So very cool. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you so
very
much for talking to us and letting us come in and everything else, guys. So.
Yep.
This is the cool thing. If you guys have, and you know, number one, I wouldn't normally show so much of the house, but I know you guys are leaving. So by the time you guys see this week, if you come to rob the place, that'll be empty anyway. And so they'll be the new owners, and they're going to be like, we don't own a car. Put the gun away.
It's gone.
So, but yeah, if you guys have a car like this and you're up in here around Ocala or whatever, let me know. We'd love to come in and talk to you. But these guys were great. I said it's weird seeing y'all because I saw y'all. You were dressed up as, so you see somebody different. But if you want to look at that, it is the Halloween show, and you'll see the Trans Am. I think we put it on. It's the 79, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's the 79 Trans Am. So if you look back, I think it was on the cover of the video. So I'll put the video number down if y'all want to look at that one. Now, what happened is that. Oh, okay. I thought it was a dent, but it's not. But it's the body line right there.
It's the way it's built.
Okay, because I just saw that from here, and I'm like, wait, that's.
And notice there's no mirrors here either.
Oh yeah.
There's only a rear view mirror.
Huh.
And there's no seat belts.
So you got all the fun goodies on this one. Let's not see what's behind us. We don't need brakes, and hey, seat belts, they're for kids.
Yeah, we don't need that.
So, wow, awesome. But you got the fuzzy dice, and that's really. If you got to do a trade-off.
Time perfect for that car, but I liked it. So
Yeah, it's cool though. Put the dual snorkel air cleaner on there. They took it off because they wanted to show you the beautiful shiny carburetor, and because they had a problem like we talked about earlier with a little bit of fuel. But that is the look, and that is really a classic look right there. So very cool. I love these dual snorkel ones too. You don't always have to have the cold air induction. Sometimes you just go old school and it looks cool. So there you go. That's what it looks like when it's going down the road. Like, not going down the road like Ross Chastain did in the NASCAR race yesterday. If you watch, go Chastain. Love the guy. He lives down here in Florida. So go throw a watermelon out your window on his honor. But anyway, if you're not a NASCAR fan, you don't get that. But anyway, that's the engine. Cool. Other car. Oh. Hey guys, so that's the other car. If you want to see the video on that, and these guys were dressed up for Halloween as, or maybe they were just, that's how they drive in it. I don't know. So we could say Halloween. We'll give them a break and say, yeah, they were dressed up as in Halloween as Burt Reynolds and Sally Field. But that's the other car. If you want to see this in close detail, I'll put down the episode below, and you can check that one out too. right, well, that's awesome, guys. Remember, you know, subscribe to all the fun stuff. Here's April. She'll be saying hello and telling you to subscribe and like. Put down some comments and answer some of the questions. Did this come with mirrors? Did this come with seat belts? What is that little pull handle in the front? What is this, a coupe, or is it a what did I say? I don't even remember. Hardtop.
Hardtop.
So if you know anything about these cars, let us know. So thanks, and we'll see you next time. April, should they subscribe to this channel even if they don't like cars today for this one?
Probably just for this one.
Where it says merchandise store right here, merchandise store link, you will see it says https:/junkyards-barn-finds, and you click on that and it's going to take you here.